Hello there, everybody. If you don't know, Twitch is going crazy. Speed also did something earlier. Oh, the other girl who did this, the Asian chick, I don't know if she's Asian, kind of stereotyping. My bad, I apologize. But her, uh, she, she got banned, I think. This is crazy, by the way.
Well, guys, we're back. We are back once again talking about an issue that has come up so many times on the internet that I'm sure my children's children will be discussing it many years in the future. Guess I've got that to look forward to. That's right, people. We are once again talking about Twitch and the new meta, I guess, that there is for advertising yourself. Now, if you're active on Twitter, I'm sure you already know what I'm talking about, but if the words I just said mean nothing to you, you're a lucky person. To give you some real quick background, Twitch is a huge social media site that is primarily used for live streaming video games.
What did he do?
And for the last 5, maybe 6 years or so, it's had a bit of an issue where people seem to not be able to keep their clothes on while live streaming. It was a pretty big issue for a while where Twitch was slowly just progressing into becoming a softcore porn site, very reminiscent of a cam site, where very popular streamers on the front page of Twitch could not keep their clothes on and were doing things like farting into their microphone for donations, which I think is a good segue into saying that I have no idea what I'm going to be putting in the background of this.
I ended up settling
This video. Normally, I would play clips that are relevant to what I'm talking about, but as I'm sure you could probably tell, YouTube would not like that in this context, so bear with me, please. But yeah, people were farting into their microphones for money, taking off clothes, doing the usual things that humans do, and Twitch started to crack down on it. They started to make a bunch of rules, and people would circumvent them. The reality is that the people that run Twitch really like this kind of content because it makes them a ton of money, but for public perception, they have to act like they don't want this stuff on their website. So they put in a rule that's very easily worked around. They let people use that workaround for about 6 months, and then the cycle repeats itself. If you want a good example of this, just search the words Twitch hot tub. If you're under 18, don't do that on Google. I'd say stick to YouTube. But the Twitch hot tub meta is a perfect example of people doing exactly what I'm talking about, which is relevant because over the last week or so, we have seen a new meta on Twitch evolve, where streamers, primarily ladies, will seemingly get completely naked and then shake things that are just off camera. I was made aware of this when this tweet by DkShadow came up on my feed, talking about a popular streamer named Morgpie who does this, just sits on camera, naked, and swings her breast back and forth when she receives donations. For what I believe should be very obvious reasons, I'm not going to be showing any of these clips, I'm sorry, but I promise you, I'm not lying, that is the entire stream. Now, I don't think it was this Morgpie woman who made this popular. I believe it was a streamer named Asian Bunny. Believe it or not, I haven't really gone too far into the origins of this Twitch method, so I can't say that for certain, but this tweet involving Morgpie is definitely what's got everybody talking about this. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while now, you would know this is not really the kind of thing I would normally make a video on, but in the wake of the GTA 6 drama and controversy, especially with this being only a few days after I made my video on GTA 6, I think this topic sort of fits in well and kind of allows me to draw a line and go further into detail on some of the things I mentioned in that video. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I went down a bit of a rabbit hole after seeing this DkShadow tweet, and I have come to learn that there seems to be two camps of thought when it comes to this new meta on Twitch, with one of them being people who are in support of this, saying these women are doing nothing wrong. The only people mad about this are incels and prudes. It's nothing people can't see on other websites already, and it's a parent's responsibility to make sure their kids aren't watching things they shouldn't. With the second camp being people who are not in support of this, saying things like Twitch is not an appropriate website for this kind of content, not understanding how this doesn't break TOS, and saying that it's the responsibility of Twitch and these content creators to make sure that this kind of content is not ending up places it shouldn't. To give you some examples of what I'm talking about, I'll show you some tweets, like these from Denim's TV in response to DkShadow's tweet saying, "Do straight men even like women?" Or imagine seeing one of the most beautiful.
Get tickets to see the Suns take on the New York Knicks, Friday, December 15th at 8 p.m.
Beautiful women alive and thinking, this is awful and I never want to see this again. Okay, bro, more for me.
Bro, it's all about timing and place, right? Like you don't work at an office and you want to see, like, Maybe you do. I don't know. Whatever.
Me, I guess. Or this one from CaseyTron saying, brace yourselves. The incels about to lose their mind and act like women are ruining Twitch for the millionth time. 1, Twitch is not for children. 2, if you think this woman's main demographic is children, you're a moron. 3, how do you know she isn't covering her nipples with something? And 4, the pearl clutching every time something like this happens is ridiculous and tiresome. I'm sure we'll look at more, but there's a lot to unpack here, so let's real quickly go through these first. So in order, we've got Denim saying, do straight men even like women? Now, this is something I can understand a person tweeting if they don't really sit and think about what they're talking about. And that's really not meant as like a dig or anything, because I have said something similar to this pretty recently. In my GTA 6 video, in response to all the people whining about the women twerking in the trailer, I said, who complains about a nice butt? And I stand by this, because the context between what I said and this tweet are very different. Denims is talking about a woman getting naked on a website that is made for people 13 and up. On a website that is historically known for its content being video games. A website that also has terms of service that prohibit sexual content, with the terms of service even explicitly pointing out content intended to draw attention to an individual's buttocks, groin, or breasts, versus a video game, part of a series that has always been rated for people 18 and over, where you occasionally see some women twerk when the setting is a satirical take on one of the most popular party cities on the planet. I think the context between those two is pretty different, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Now, addressing the comment of do straight men even like women, I don't think many straight men are seeing this clip and shielding their eyes, shutting off their computer and running into a dark room. I think it's about the implication. We're gonna get into this more later, but the implication of a grown woman purposefully seeking out a website where the main demographic is teenage boys, when there are hundreds of websites specifically made for what she's doing for people over 18, to choose Twitch over those websites to make this kind of content specifically to advertise her more explicit content is disgusting. It's predatory. If you don't see an issue with this, you've got some problems. Moving on to the second part of the tweet, imagine seeing one of the most beautiful women alive and thinking this is awful, I never want to see this again. Again, that's not the issue. It has nothing to do with being afraid of a woman's body and wanting it out of your sight. It's about who else is seeing this when they shouldn't be. As of recording this, if you go to the front page of Twitch right now, with no account, no nothing, this woman, the one who keeps popping up in this screenshot, is on the front page of Twitch, along with about 3 other people doing it too, with all 4 of these streamers having links on their stream to porn sites. Now look, I am no prude. I have made this very clear in many videos I have made. If you want to do OnlyFans for a living, I genuinely, sincerely do not have a single problem with that whatsoever. If you want to watch porn, if you want to make it, I really do not care, because guess what? It's the 21st century and I'm not insane, and you would have to be to care about what other people do behind closed doors. However, when you go on to Twitch to advertise this kind of content instead of the million other websites where this kind of stuff is perfectly acceptable, you're signaling something pretty specific about who you want your audience to be, and I find that very hard to ignore. Now look, is stuff like this something people are going to watch before they should anyways? Absolutely. Let's not play stupid. However, it's a similar situation how something might be legal when you're 18 years old, and that same thing might not be legal when you're 17 years, 364 days old. Is there really any difference between you and your ability to handle something after that extra 24 hours has passed? No. But as a society, we have to draw a line somewhere. And going onto a website intended for people under that line and advertising things that are meant for people over that line is not okay. Now, back to CaseyTron's tweet, brace yourself, the incels are about to lose their minds and act like women are ruining Twitch. I find this to be kind of a weird take, because Twitch was never intended for this kind of content. It just wasn't. And you don't have to be a prude, you don't have to be some crazy incel to not want to see porn on every website you go on. This is a terrible take. If Twitch made an 18 plus category that couldn't just easily be stumbled upon, that would be a different story. I think people complaining about that would have less ground to stand on, but Twitch is not a mature site. And like I said, if you go on the front page right now, you will see softcore porn. If you've got family around, children, if you're out in public, and you want to go onto Twitch, a site that is not for mature content, you should not be subjected to it. That is not some crazy incel base.
See, opening Twitter, okay, I understand. Opening, what else would you open? Opening OnlyFans, sure, I would understand. Not opening YouTube or Twitch. maybe even kick, not opening those, right?
Dweller take, it's just how things are. Then she goes through these points. 1, Twitch is not for children. Yeah, it is. Sorry to break it to ya. 2, if you think this woman's main demographic is children, you're a moron. Okay, then why is she not on a site only for people over the age of 18? Can't really explain that one away, can you, Casey? 3, how do you know she isn't covering her nipples with something? I don't even know how that's relevant, so I'm not even gonna address it. And then 4, the pearl clutching every time something like this happens is ridiculous and tiresome. I can agree that Twitter likes to clutch its pearls maybe a bit too frequently, but again, I don't think this is a situation where that applies. Again, I don't think that most people are angry at this woman for just being naked. If you are, I guess that's a different story. I think, and I'm gonna keep repeating this word, it's the context. People, myself included, do not like that a website that is intended for people only over the age of 13, that has no sort of indication that any sort of explicit content will be shown, has what is undeniably softcore porn smack on the front page. Every other website on the internet that deals with anything that is meant for people over the age of 18 has a content and age warning. It should not be that controversial that people expect Twitch to follow the basic rules of the internet. The people that are defending this tooth and nail are kind of concerning. Why do you want this kind of stuff on Twitch so badly? It's not a good look. Well, guys, I think that's enough ranting from me. What are your thoughts on this entire situation? I'm sure we'll see nothing of substance come from Twitch for another 8 or 9 months. They're going to want to let these streamers really rack up the revenue and subscriptions before they do anything that might jeopardize it. I really don't understand the crazy support for this kind of stuff. Like I said, I don't care if this kind of content is how you want to make a living. From what I've seen, it pays pretty good, so I don't really blame people, but you've got to be responsible about it. And I feel like people doing this is a great example of not being responsible with it. Just keep this stuff on the sites that were designed for it. It's not that hard. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button and touch it. It's free. It won't cost you anything. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Bye.
It is interesting though. Oh, but let it be a problem if a nigga did it. Just on camera shaking meat. Crazy, right?
Thank you for the
Can't possibly get worse. It gets worse. Good old Twitch. Yep. But yeah, like, subscribe. See you guys later. Hope you have a good day or night, and bye.